Date 2. She said, if you don't drive my friends to the concert, I'll just go with my ex instead. I tossed her the spare key and said, have fun. Hours later, she was frantically calling me from a tow yard. For the next 2 hours, there was silence. I made incredible progress on the charger. Then, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Chloe. The car just died in the middle of the highway. It will not start. I let a few minutes pass, then texted back, did the check engine light start flashing? Her reply came instantly, yes, it has been for the last 10 minutes. What does that mean? I wrote back, it means you did exactly what I told you not to do. You pushed it too hard when the filter was clogged. She started calling. I ignored it. More texts came through. What do I do? People are honking. It is dangerous. Tiffany is calling her dad to get us. We have to leave the car here. This is all your fault. I did not reply. An hour later, I got an automated text notification from the State Highway Patrol informing me that a vehicle registered in my name had been towed from the highway for being an abandoned traffic hazard. 30 minutes after that, my phone rang again. It was Chloe, her voice frantic and shrill. Mark, they towed the car. I am at the tow yard right now and they are saying it is going to be $300 to get it out. You need to come down here and pay this. I took a deep, satisfying breath. No, Chloe, I said, my voice as calm as a frozen lake. I do not. You were the one driving. You were the one who ignored my warnings. It sounds like you have a problem to solve. Let me know how it goes. I hung up the phone. The night was just getting started. The 2 days following the concert incident were an education in manipulation and blame shifting. After I hung up on Chloe at the tow yard, she must have called me 20 more times. I did not answer. The voicemails she left were a masterclass in escalation. They started with anger and demands, shifted to tearful pleading, and finally landed on bitter accusations. According to her, I had set her up and ruined her night on purpose. She conveniently forgot that she was the one who issued an ultimatum involving her ex-boyfriend. Her friends joined in, too. Tiffany sent me a series of texts calling me a controlling jerk. My only reply was a simple screenshot of my last text to Chloe, the one where I reminded her that I had told her not to drive the car if the check engine light was flashing. Then I blocked Tiffany's number. The real problem for Chloe was the $300 impound fee, plus the daily storage fees that were now adding up. She did not have the money. I knew this because our finances, while mostly separate, were not a complete mystery to me. I handled the major bills from my business account, but she has her own account for her personal spending. I knew she lived paycheck to paycheck, spending most of her money on clothes, lunches, and nights out with her friends. She finally got a ride home from the tow yard with her parents, who she had to call in shame to come get her. She arrived at our apartment late Sunday afternoon, and the confrontation I had been expecting finally happened. She did not start with an apology. She started with rage. You did that on purpose, she yelled as she walked in the door. You knew that car would break down. I knew it was a possibility if you ignored my specific instructions, I replied, not moving from the couch where I was reading a magazine. Which is exactly what you did. You left me stranded, me and my friends, on the side of the highway. It was humiliating. That sounds unfortunate, I said, turning a page. Perhaps you should have accepted your ex-boyfriend's offer for a ride. Oh, wait. He flaked on you, did he not? It seems your grand plan had a few holes in it. Her face turned red. The fact that I knew Alex had bailed on her seemed to throw her off more than anything. It stripped away her power. Her thread had been empty, and she knew that I knew. That is when she made her next mistake. You owe me for that tow fee, and you need to go get that car. I need it for work on Monday. I finally put my magazine down and looked at her. I do not owe you anything, Chloe. And that is my car, not your car. You have shown you cannot be trusted with it. You will need to find another way to get to work. This is when things truly took a turn. Her anger dissolved into a desperate, panicked kind of energy, and it made me curious. Her reaction was out of proportion to the situation. It was more than just being mad about a ruined night in a tow. Something else was going on that night. After she had retreated to the bedroom to give me the silent treatment, I did some digging. Chloe was notoriously careless with her technology. She often used my laptop and would leave her social media accounts logged in. I am not proud of it, but I felt I needed to understand what was really happening. I opened her messages, and there it was, a long conversation thread with Tiffany from the past 2 weeks. They were not just planning to go to a concert. They were planning to meet up with Alex and his group of friends at an expensive after-party. The plan laid out in detail was for Alex to drive them all night. Chloe's ultimatum to me was not a spontaneous threat. It was her plan A. Me driving them was her boring last resort, plan B. The messages were full of mocking comments about me. Chloe called me her reliable but boring ride. Tiffany joked about my old truck. They talked about how much more fun Alex was, how he knew all the best places. One message from Chloe stood out. I just have to play it right with Mark. If I act frustrated enough, he will cave. He always does.